What's up, y'all boys? I ain't gonna lie. Next day, I keep saying that. I ain't gonna lie, I got some goals, y'all. You feel me? I'm trying to hit this goddamn 1K subs, you feel me? Even though my main goal is 100,000 subs right now. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all keep subbing, liking the videos, you feel me? If y'all got some shit that y'all feel like a nigga can react to, send it to me, you feel me? Make sure y'all keeping God first, bro. Pray. Talk to God. He gonna get you out of everything, bro. And he answers. He answers, bro. You feel what I'm saying? God answers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all boys staying prayed up. You feel what I'm saying? Make sure y'all boys goddamn, you feel me? Other than that, let's get into the video.
Nobody wins when the family feels, but my...
This shit slow motion. What the fuck?
News today, Cincinnati police sharing new details about a chase that led to a suspect being shot and killed by police over in East Price Hill.
The mayor and Cincinnati's police chief sharing body camera video of the incident.
This all unfolded very, very quickly. We're talking about 6 seconds. 6 seconds from the time that officer got out of his vehicle until he shot and killed that armed suspect.
I'll give you an update on an incident that you're aware of, I'm sure, happened earlier this afternoon, approximately 1 p.m. We had an auto accident at Martin Luther King, Burnett Woods Drive, where a Hamilton County deputy was struck. He was outside his vehicle conducting traffic enforcement. He was struck by a vehicle. It saddens me tremendously to make you aware that he has since passed.
All right, fam. I'm gonna need you to try your best to hold your opinion to the end. This a lot, and I'm gonna say this out the gate. None of us can't truly fathom losing our child until it happened. Now, the situation we talk about today is less than 24 hours old. Today, we're going to Cincinnati. We're talking about a man that...
Hey, y'all need some logos done? You feel me? Get at me, bro. Get at me. You feel me? This is my my lawn service business I'm gonna try to start, you feel me? Do just some more logos, you know what I'm saying? I'm working on. I'm gonna make sure I swipe too much. You feel me? Y'all seen a logo on my page. You feel me? I'm trying to start me a clothing brand. It's gonna start KT, King Tommy, bro. That shit gonna be raw as fuck. King Tommy, bro. Y'all stay tuned for that clothing brand, bro. You feel me? And I got a long service business I'm gonna start. I'm a hard-working nigga, bro. I like to work. I like to be a man. You feel what I'm saying? I want to go cut some grass and start a business and be the one that's cutting the grass. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, bro, let's get into the video. I just wanted to let y'all boys know. Y'all need some logos, get at me. Price is good. Nigga, I ain't charging no much. Not that much. I'm charging, but not that much. Boy, $50. $50 logo. My mom, you need $200, $50 a logo, bro. And I'm going to get you exactly what the fuck you want. Exactly what the fuck you want. Trust, man.
Dad, who decided to take matters in his own hands. Less than 24 hours before his situation, his son was gunned down by authorities, which we'll later check out and play body cam footage. This dad decided to take matters in his own hands and took the life of a police officer the next day.
Damn. So his son got popped by the officers, you know what I'm saying, rest in peace. And then he spent back for his son? Now my question is, did you get the officer that got your son? Or did you get like a random
Today
officer?
we go over this story, go over the details, see what truly happened, pay our respects, and see where we stand today. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. A Hamilton
Y'all go tune in with Family TV.
Has died after being hit by a car driven by the father of a man who was killed by Cincinnati police the day before. Cincinnati police chief said during a news conference that the sheriff's deputy, whose identity was not released, was hit by a car being driven by the father of an 18-year-old Ryan Hinton. The crash happened around 1 p.m., May 2nd, 2025. The crash come a day after police fatally shot Hinton.
You say May 2nd? 2020? Hey, I'm like, damn, is it April? Nigga, it's May 4th. This just happened.
East Prince Hill during a car theft investigation. Here's the facts. You see, the crash occurred around 1 p.m., just a few hours before the beginning of graduation ceremonies for the University of Cincinnati. It happened near the corner of Martin Luther King Drive in the CUF neighborhood, north of University of Cincinnati's campus. The deputy was outside of his vehicle, operating at a traffic light, when a car driven by Hinton's father, Ronnie Hinton Jr., entered the intersection and struck them. The deputy and his father were transported to the hospital in critical condition. The deputy later died. May he rest in peace and love condolences to his family. Traffic on Martin Luther King Drive was closed for several hours after the crash. The road reopened shortly after 6 p.m. Now, though the deputy name has not been identified, authorities say he recently retired from Hamilton County Sheriff's Office and was working a special detail by directing traffic for the graduation. Quoting, "The officer was just out doing his job," end quote. 38-year-old Rodney Hinton Jr. was arrested and charged with aggravated murder. So now we got that squared away. Let's go back 24 hours. On May 1st, 2025, the day before the fatal crash, Cincinnati police went to an apartment complex in East Prince Hill after learning a stolen vehicle was found there. 4 suspects, who police believe stole the car, took off running into the woods, some in different directions. One officer chased 18-year-old Ryan Hinton, who was seen holding a firearm, allegedly. The officer called out twice that Hinton had a firearm, but the suspect tripped but continued to run between 2 dumpsters with the firearm in his hand before he encountered another officer. The other officer was pursuing someone else when the armed suspect emerged from between the dumpsters. The body cam footage, which you'll later check out, showed the officer fire 4 to 5 rounds at the suspect as he ran into the officer's direction. But here's the huge concern here. The officer said in an interview that the suspect pointed a firearm at him, but that allegation can't be confirmed because the body cam footage was blurred as he was running. But check it out.
Yesterday morning, following a report of a stolen vehicle, Cincinnati police officers were involved in a shooting in East Price Hill that resulted in the death of 1 man. I'm here with Police Chief Teresa Thigi, Councilmember Scotty Johnson, City Solicitor Emily Smart Warner, and Assistant City Manager John Brzezina. We as a city take the loss of life extremely seriously in every circumstance. It is always a tragedy, and it's a tragedy here today. And the processes we have in place because of the collaborative agreement are here to ensure transparency and clarity as we move forward. At the top, I want to thank our police department and all the first responders for their work to keep surrounding residents safe during this incident and during the ensuing search for the remaining suspects. As with every officer-involved shooting, there will be an investigation into this incident, with the Citizens Complaint Authority and CPD running parallel investigations. As always, we are committed to a thorough process in accordance with the collaborative, and I am confident that the CCA, our police department, and our city administration will direct these investigations with transparency and clarity. Thankfully, all the responding officers were unharmed. Thank you, and I will now invite Teresa Thigi to speak.
I see I'm loaded up today.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today.
That better be the only ad, bruh. That better be the only ad, bruh. You know what I'm saying? That better be the only ad. I hate editing. It take me a second to edit the ads out, y'all. It don't even take long. But that better be the only ad, dog.
Start with the presentation itself. I want to say, when an incident like this one that happened yesterday occurs, the impact is felt long after the moment itself. The emotional toll doesn't end quickly. It lingers with the families, the officers, and the community for an extended period of time. Officers across the country confront dangerous situations every day, sometimes more than once a day. They are often compelled to make split-second decisions to protect others and themselves when faced with immediate threats.
I get that.
Yesterday was one of those occurrences. Let me be very direct. We cannot allow individuals to flee from officers with a loaded firearm aimed at them. When this happens, the outcome is almost always tragic. No one wins, and everyone involved is affected.
Grandma, I'm sorry.
As I review the sequence of events from yesterday,
I'm trying to stop.
You'll see exactly how rapidly
I'm trying to stop.
These things evolve. and it will permanently alter the lives of
Mom,
everyone
I'm sorry. I'm
involved.
trying.
Mom. So to give you an idea, this is 2500 Warsaw. I'm going to step out in front for a minute. Warsaw Avenue is down here. This is the long driveway. It goes up a hill.
One way in, one way
The
out.
incident occurred
Look like.
is at the dead end of the parking lot back here.
Ooh.
You'll see vehicles there now. You'll see a photo of the stolen car that we're going to talk about was backed into a parking spot back there. As you can see, this is a stolen Kia. It was stolen out of northern Kentucky yesterday. You can see we have two uniformed cars there. Prior to those uniformed cars arriving, we had two undercover cars that pulled into that dead end, saw the vehicle. They backed out. They saw that there were individuals inside the vehicle, so they backed out and let the uniformed cars make the approach, which is the tactically sound decision to do. The cars are positioned the way the officers are trained. We are trained to use our vehicles as cover from any threat. That's what those officers did with the cars at that time. This is body-worn camera from officer number 2. Go ahead, Bobby.
He's got a gun. He's got a gun on your right.
Play the video. We don't want to see y'all. Play the motherfucking video. We don't want to see y'all. What did we just not see?
So just to give you an idea, we have the two uniformed cars. We have two officers. There's 4 individuals in the stolen vehicle. All 4 individuals get out and start running, some in different directions. So officers decide which individual they're going to pursue. One officer decides to pursue the individual who we
Why
now
we ain't just
know
see the video?
had a firearm in his hand. The other officer pursued another occupant that fled from the vehicle. And that'll be significant here in a moment when you see.
We ain't see.
So this is a still image. Again, I'm going to step out front. The
Come on,
car is
Beth.
parked over this way. Okay? They are chasing the individual.
Brother
So
slip
officer
already.
Number 1 is chasing this guy right here. Okay? This is the guy we ultimately end up shooting.
Oh.
The other officer who actually fires the shot on this individual is chasing a different individual further out this way, in this direction.
Type shit.
Okay?
Damn.
As this
I
officer
see the fire.
is chasing him,
I see the
he
fire.
sees a firearm in his hand, and he yells, "Gun, gun, he's got a gun." This individual slips, trips,
Shit.
whatever, falls on the concrete right here.
Damn.
Other officers that were also
That trip might what got, bro. Damn. That slow brother down just a little bit, bro. Fuck.
there say in their interview, they heard the firearm hit the concrete. They heard the metal from the firearm hit the concrete. This individual gets up, still has the firearm in his hand, and continues to run through the dumpsters.
You should have left the fire, bro. You should have left the fire when the police come lead a fire, bro. Run without the
These are
fire.
some still photos. This is the officer who originally saw him with the firearm in his hand, calling it out. He runs through the dumpsters. This officer knows that there's another officer here that is going to ultimately encounter him when he comes through the dumpsters. So he makes him aware of that. He shouts out to him, "On your right, on your right." He's on your right. And that's where this individual comes out from between the dumpsters. This is the other officer, the one who fires the shot. This is his body
What's up?
camera as he approaches the scene.
Huh?
Get good. Get the fuck down.
Damn, so they shot him? Right after he ran through the trash
firearm
cans?
that was recovered at the scene after the individual was shot. This is what he had in his hand
Nice
while the
little
officers were chasing him.
Hey, well, that's clean fire. Let me see. Look at that peanut butter bit.
Here at Criminalistics.
Is that green? That's that peanut butter bit.
Remember I told you he fell on the concrete and the officer said that they heard the
Clank.
metal hit the ground? There are 3 spots on here where this gun has scratches on it. We believe those occurred when he hit the ground with the firearm.
No, it didn't. Peanut butter clean. That's brand new peanut butter.
Semi-automatic. I don't know the make and model. This is a
Bro, why they, bro? So did bro even pick the gun up at him and try to aim and shoot? Like, what the fuck? They didn't even show the footage,
Sorry,
bro.
Bobby, can you go back one frame, please? This magazine was in the firearm. That's an extended magazine, so it holds more rounds. Go ahead. This is a second magazine that was located in his sweatshirt pocket,
Damn.
his jacket pocket.
That nigga was loaded up. Boy, he had 2 full mags. Cause that clip right there on the ground looked like they got hella bullets in them, huh?
And that is the magazine from that second.
No, bro, nigga loaded up for sure.
This is another firearm that was located inside the stolen vehicle.
Should have left that bitch like you left that one.
This is a firearm that was also stolen out of northern Kentucky sometime yesterday, early yesterday morning. Approximately, we believe, based on timelines, this was stolen from a vehicle in northern Kentucky, and then they went on to steal the vehicle that's involved in the incident.
Damn, sad story.
So because we are still attempting to 100% verify the individual's identity, the individual who we shot, we're going to list him as John Doe until we can 100% verify that for you. The other 3 individuals that were in the car all ran. This was an extensive search for these individuals. I don't know if anybody's familiar with 2500 Warsaw. It is steep terrain, both directions from that parking lot, heavily wooded. They ran into that area in different directions, and we happen to have as hours of the day that we had several canines available and our drone operators available. So we deployed both of those, got some assistance from community members who were calling us, and we ultimately apprehended this gentleman as well as this gentleman. We still have another person we're looking for. We are attempting to positively identify him, and we'll continue to search for him. As you know, per Marcy's Law, we're not going to reveal the officers' names, the officers who were involved, but here is their information. Been on almost 11 years, fugitive apprehension. Been on almost 24 years, fugitive apprehension. This is the scene afterwards. I want to point out this incident, from the time they bailed from the vehicle and police were chasing them to the time the individual was shot, 6 seconds. 6 quick seconds.
That shit happened in 6 seconds, bro. Look at these ads, bro.
But the officer's responsibility didn't end there. They did very admirably trying to save this gentleman's life by administering different variations of medical aid until the fire department responded. And this is the, you can see the medical debris, and then this is where the firearm was. Okay, we'll take a few questions.
The suspect, it was very difficult to see, really shows how volatile the situation is. But it was difficult for us to see if the suspect pointed his gun at the officer or whether he just had a gun and was shot because he had a gun. Can you tell why the officer shot the suspect?
Yeah. So just to kind of
that's what we want to know. You explaining all this shit. We want to know why he shot.
With a firearm in his hand. The officer is running, so the body camera is kind of jolting as the officer's running. What that leaves us with is a very blurred image, unfortunately. However, based on the officer's interviews, the officer who did discharge his firearm said that when the individual came out between the dumpsters, he had the firearm in front of him. It was in like a bladed position, and it was pointed at the officer. And he felt threatened for his life, and that's why he discharged his firearm.
That's cap. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that shit. Bro was running That nigga was running.
4 or 5.
Why he gonna run and try to shoot the bro? He was
We
running.
believe twice.
What the fuck?
And I do want to clear up, based on information that we received, the individual was struck in the chest. It exited out the back. He was struck in the arm. We believe it went through his arm and into his side. So those were the two rounds that hit him.
There was no indication that he fired his gun.
Correct.
No, so bro probably was running with the gun. Bro, he was probably here.
I had a caveat. We do not expect the officers to wait until they're fired upon.
No, it's not even about that. My nigga was probably running like this, bro. My nigga was, watch the, bro, from how he was running, we barely seen, my nigga was low, he fell, got up, and he was probably running like this, and he seen the gun get right here, and he shot my nigga, bro. Because obviously he was not like, bro, what? That don't even make sense.
The necessity to fire.
That don't even make sense.
What is standard protocol for how many times an officer, when someone else is pointing a gun at them, how many times an officer should fire upon?
They are
They asked some
trained
good ass questions.
to stop the threat.
So there's no standard number of times to shoot?
No, until they feel their life is no longer in danger.
Nigga, what? So they train to light your ass up so they can shoot you as many times as they want to, cause you got a gun in your hand. What? That don't even make sense, bro. And they felt threatened because when you was running with the gun, you running from the police, and you running with a gun in your hand from the police, your hand up, gun right. You know what I'm saying? Five. You shoot as many times as you want to. Shut up.
So I'm going to go back to the original question. So, Chief, would it be standard protocol to shoot a suspect if they are armed with a handgun and running if the firearm were not threatening the officer directly?
Yeah. So this is where we have to go to the state of
Good ass motherfucking question, boy. They asked some good ass questions, boy.
mind of the officer at the time. What are they seeing, feeling, hearing? If they feel like their life or somebody else's life is in danger, they have a responsibility to stop that threat.
No.
So I can't answer how every situation should be resolved. It's based on the officers, and some of that includes their training, their experience, their tenure, things like that.
So the officer says that he saw the suspect point the firearm at him.
Yes.
How can he do that when...
Video and or other officer testimony back that up?
I'm not going to get into that now. You saw the video. This is what we have to work with.
I didn't see
because
shit.
it is an ongoing investigation. I'm not going to get that far into details right now.
Is it because my video zoomed in? Okay, no, it's not.
Officers to the stolen vehicle at this apartment complex. I know that's why they responded initially.
If you told
Bruh.
me years.
Can you say what prompted that?
Yeah, so this is a stolen vehicle out of Edgewood, Kentucky, yesterday morning, and it has GPS capability. So the owner of the vehicle notified us, as well as they called 911, but that, because they were in Northern Kentucky, that call went to Northern Kentucky. So it was the vehicle owner's capability to track it via GPS.
And do you know if any of the, I know we haven't identified the man who was killed, but do we have any indication of whether the other suspects had a connection to this apartment complex specifically, or why they were there?
Yeah, we do not have any indication right now as to whether or not they have connection to that complex. It seemed to be quite a quiet, nice complex.
You found 2 handguns. One of them you said was stolen at approximately the same time the car was stolen. How about the other one?
So we believe the firearm that was stolen approximately 6:30 a.m. yesterday morning somewhere in Northern Kentucky. The vehicle we believe was stolen maybe a couple hours later, again in Northern Kentucky. But that's all we know.
Which of the firearms
He not
was
even...
the stolen firearm?
The one that was left in the car, not the one that the deceased had.
Do we know the origin of the one that the deceased had?
Not yet. We still have our investigators working on that.
Chief, do you have any update on the search for the suspect?
There you are. We do. We're working, like I said, to identify him, and we will use whatever resources we need to try to locate him.
Can you talk about how
Yeah, so they're quite agile. They covered a lot of ground. Like I said, it's heavily wooded and it's quite a terrain, hilly terrain. One of them I know made their way up towards the summit area, still in East Price Hill. They were all still in Price Hill, but I don't know the exact addresses where they were apprehended. We used a lot of resources to locate them.
So the
Bro, I need to see the video. She's doing too much talking for me.
There have been 6 officer-involved shootings, 4 fatal in the last 6 weeks. Not with your department,
Right.
obviously. Do you have any thoughts on that? I think that the media coverage of this, and therefore the public perception of it, is, wow, there have been a lot of officer-involved shootings lately.
Yeah, so I can't speak to the ones that occurred outside of the city limits. My message would just be, unfortunately, this is a potential outcome when you interact with police and you are armed with a weapon, whether it's an edged weapon, a firearm, or if you fail to comply, you're armed and you fail to comply with what an officer says. This is where we end up. And
What?
it is unfortunate. It
That's
is
dumb, though.
preventable.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
and
Y'all don't gotta
no
shoot at
officer
somebody
wants
because
to
they
go through
running with a
this.
gun.
I don't want families to go through this, but at the end of the day, we have to provide the safest city that we can provide.
That's not being. How's that being safe? Cause y'all shooting people because they running with a knife. They not coming for you. If bro was coming at you, if bro let a shot off at the officer or something, like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, nobody doing nothing but because somebody armed, they got a gun in the car. He got a gun. Fuck, like, what? That's no point. Because he got a gun, y'all get to shoot. So I mean, cause you in a police officer outfit with a badge and a camera, and the nigga got a gun in the car that you pulling over, you get to fire at his ass cause he got a gun. He feel like he a threat and your life threatening. No, that don't make sense. I don't give a fuck what you say. It don't. You know what I'm saying? It don't. That's dumb as fuck.
Rounding that dumpster that he was on.
I got pulled over. Officer say, you got a gun in your car for your protection. You feel me? At least he asked for, you got a gun for your protection. I was like, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. You know what I'm saying? No, yeah, maybe, whatever. You feel what I'm saying? But it don't, like, bro, no, ain't no reason. Yeah, it's over there, bro. Go get it. You know what I'm saying? Just do that, bro. Y'all be wanting to, you feel me? Not this situation, but just other situations, bro. Like, y'all, oh no, I don't got a gun. You don't have to you don't either get caught with it or not. You gonna get caught and be dead. They either gonna catch you with it or they gonna pop your ass.
Option, like when they realized he was armed, than going around the side of the dumpster to confront and chase down the suspect, knowing he was armed. Like, I mean, it wasn't like he was running into a crowd of people. It was an empty wooden.
Okay.
What she asked?
If you recall what I said, though, that officer who fired was actually chasing a different suspect when he encountered the individual armed with a firearm. And again, total 6 seconds. So for them to process and determine a different course of action, I think is unreasonable.
6 seconds from apprehension to the shots being fired off.
I'm sorry.
Bro, y'all got the car and shot a nigga. That's 6 fucking. Y'all didn't give it no time.
From the time they
pulled up,
and the people jumped out of the car to the time that
it was shot. 6 seconds.
The picture showed a round above weapon. Was there a round in the chamber as well?
Yeah, that is normally how our criminalistics will process it. If there's one in the chamber, they will take it out, and then they will also display rounds that were in a magazine.
So there was a round in the chamber.
I would have to ask the investigators for confirmation of that, but I believe so.
Thank you.
All right?
You
Thank
believe
you.
so? Probably wouldn't. Gun wouldn't probably
Incident
loaded.
that you're aware of, I'm sure, happened earlier this afternoon, approximately 1 p.m. We had an auto accident at Martin Luther King, Burnett Woods Drive, where Hamilton County
So this is
deputy
yesterday,
was
the day
struck.
before.
He was outside his vehicle conducting traffic enforcement. He was struck by a vehicle. It saddens me tremendously to make you aware that he has since passed.
Take one of mine, I'll take one of yours. Okay, I get it, Pops. For
think
mine,
what
I'll
is
take one of yours.
significant
Tight shit.
For people to know about this accident is
But that's still like,
the officer was just out doing his job.
that's not, but
Directing
yeah,
traffic.
yeah, exactly though. Like,
Up near the University of Cincinnati for what was supposed to be a glorious day for many. What is significant also to know about this auto accident, as you know, we had a critical incident yesterday in the city of Cincinnati, an officer-involved shooting at
So
approximately
he
9
did
a.m.
next
yesterday
day,
morning.
Pop spent next day.
There is a connection between these two incidents. The driver of today's vehicle that struck a deputy has a family relationship with the 18-year-old that we shot yesterday.
No bond hearing.
That we shot yesterday.
So, like, we're asking that you hold him with no bond.
So y'all shot his son because he was running with a gun. And I mean, I can't really say nothing.
Right now until
I ain't even gonna say nothing.
on the 6th,
I don't know. What's y'all opinion?
present evidence in
If
order
it was your kid, what would you do?
to satisfy the burden under 2937-222. We're likely asking to hold him with no bond at that point.
So you all will review those statutes. The rules of evidence won't apply
Yes, Your Honor.
in that hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the court will now set no bond until Tuesday when we'll review the statute for
Do that time, Pops.
no bond under these unusual and very tragic and terrible circumstances.
It's a crazy story though.
Where will the defendant be housed and will he be safe? And I ask that because he was transferred, as I understand it, to Clermont County yesterday on my order.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And will he be returned to Clermont County until Tuesday?
It's our understanding he will be returned to Clinton.
And you have a safe environment for him there in Clermont County?
Yes, sir.
You'll return him on Tuesday, May the 6th at 8:30 a.m. for a hearing at 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, for the record, we'd ask the court to...
Y'all officers better not do shit to Pops in that, boy. Y'all better not, all y'all niggas back there, y'all better not do shit to Pops back there, boy. Oh, bro. Y'all better not do shit.
now, but we understand that so not a bond hearing is request.
All right, no bond.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we can hold him at no bond for 72 hours, is that right?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Bro, I done had like 4, 5 ads, bro. 4, 5 ads, one video.
All right, thank you so much.
Rodney Hinton Jr. appearing to show no remorse for that alleged attack. As he was being escorted out of the courtroom, he appeared to shout at deputies he's going to be gone forever, though it's unclear if he's referring to the deputy that he's accused of killing or his son, who was killed by a Cincinnati police officer on Thursday. Here's what we
That shit
learned
that
from
shit
court
sad,
later
bro.
earlier
Sad
this
story,
morning
y'all.
after that
It's a
tense
sad story,
appearance,
though.
surrounded by dozens of deputies inside and outside the courtroom. We're learning more details from the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office about what's now being called a deliberate attack. Prosecutors say witnesses watched Hinton stop his car outside of graduation ceremonies for students at the University of Cincinnati, then rammed the recently retired deputy who was outside his vehicle conducting traffic, ultimately ending his life. Now, the defense explained that this has been
Oh,
an
yeah, Pop
emotionally
standing on that, dog.
charged week
Pop
for
standing
Hinton
on that. I
after
see.
his son
Now I
was
see.
killed by that Cincinnati police officer.
He said, hold
on
off on your
Thursday.
opinions.
Meanwhile, Hinton is going to be held at the Claremont County Jail by the judge's order for his safety until a no bond appearance is set to determine whether or not he'll be held. As
Yeah,
that
y'all gonna have to
process
make sure
plays
Pop's
out.
good up in there.
Very unfortunate situation. Rodney, rest in peace. And
Rodney,
to that officer,
for real.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to the little boy Rodney and the officer. Hold on, what does he got to say real quick?
Condolences to you guys' families. We send a love and prayers, y'all.
Okay, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to the ones that was lost. Pops, I understand. I got a kid. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I do some crazy shit like that, but no telling. I ain't gonna say no crazy shit like that, but you feel me? You'll never know when you in somebody else's shoes what you would do. You feel what I'm saying? Crazy situation. I don't know what to say about it because I don't want to say the wrong thing. But you feel me? Sad for the officer because, bro, he was just working. He ain't had nothing to do with it. You feel me? I could see if he got one of the officers that did it. That would have been crazier. But he just got a random officer. You feel me? Bro ain't had nothing to do with it. You feel me? So that's still sad. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. Next video.